Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Natco Pharma Q3 FY24 post-result earnings conference call hosted by Batliwala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rishikesh Patole from B&K Securities Private Limited. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of B&K Securities, I welcome all to the FY24 earnings conference call of Natco Pharma.
Rishikesh, can I start? Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Rishikesh. Again, welcome everyone to Natco's conference call discussing our results for the third quarter of FY24, which ended December 31st, 2023. Our discussion during this call will include certain forward-looking statements, which are predictions, projections, or other estimates about future events. While these forward-looking statements exemplify our judgment and future expectations, please note that these estimates involve several risks and uncertainties that could cause our actual results to differ materially from what is expressed or implied. Natco Pharma undertakes no obligations to publicly revise any forward-looking statements to reflect in future events or circumstances. I'd like to state that except for the participant questions, property of Natco cannot be recorded or rebroadcast without Natco's express written permission. We'll begin with the results highlight and then we'll follow with an interactive Q&A session. So we hope all of you received the financials and the press release that we had done earlier, including a presentation. These are also available on our website. So first of all, we are very excited to state that Natco has achieved a big milestone in its evolution by surpassing 3,000 crores of revenue and 1,000 crores of PAT year to date, and we have one more quarter to go. So I think we are quite pleased with the results. For the third quarter of FY24, Natco recorded consolidated total revenue of 795.6 crores as against 513.3 crores same period last year, reflecting a growth of 55%. Net profit for the period on a consolidated basis was 212.7 crores as against 62.3 crores during the same period last year, showing roughly about 3.5 times growth. The company has shown strong growth across businesses compared to last year and is confident of its strategy going forward. Very briefly on the segmental split for the quarter for Q3, API clocked 46.3 crores, formulation domestics 99.4 crores, formulation exports, which includes profit share and foreign subs, was 605.6 crores, crop health clocked 14.1 crores. The rest were in operating, non-operating income. Thank you all. We'll open up for questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Abdul Kader from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thank you for the opportunity and congrats on good set of numbers. So my first question is with regards to your guidance for FY24, where earlier you had stated or we were expecting profits of close to 1,000 to 1,200 crores. So, sir, I mean, since you already achieved that in the 9 months, are we revising it or holding to the guidance?
Sure. As of now, I mean, we're looking good. So my expectation now is that, I mean, again, we have to see how things work out, but looks like we're going to be on the higher end of the expectation. We're hoping to go past 1,200 crores back. I think that's our expectation. And our sales as well, I think will probably be little less than 4,000 crores. I think that's our expectation where things are.
Okay. And so just to have a better understanding of your Q3 numbers, so, on the face of it, it more looks like the export business has driven the quarter. But within that, how have your subs at Brazil and Canada performed, as well as in the US, if you could throw some light there? Thank you.
Certainly. I mean, the subs have done well, Abdul, and I think specifically, all the subs together out of the sale, I think 163 crores has come from all the subs and primarily driven by Canada and Brazil. And this quarter, we had a one-time tender order that we executed in one of the markets. So I think that was one of the reasons why the sub has done well. And so that also has improved the emerging market profits. Overall, it's a very balanced quarter. I think we got profit from all the major markets. And also, Glatiramer also did well this quarter. And overall, I think even though lenalidomide contribution was on the lower side, still we had, a pretty good quarter. I think we're very pleased how things went.
Understood. And
You have a chance to another person, Abdul. If at all, we come back.
Sure.
Thank you. Next question, please. Yeah.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Purvi from Kotak Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so firstly, congratulations on a strong set of numbers. So I have two questions. First is on the Kothur facility. If you could just give us an update as to where do we stand with the FDA. And secondly, on the tax rate, if for the past 3 quarters we've seen that to be in the range of 16 to 17%, how should we expect this for the full year of 24, 25, and 26?
Sure thing. Okay. I'll start with the tax rate. The tax rate, I think, will be around that same range. I think our expectations that our taxation will be around 16, 17%.
Okay.
I think that's my expectation. Will continue even going forward. Regarding Kothur, we have not, we replied to the FDA about the corrective action that we have taken post-inspection. And we have not received a classification as of now. So as of now, we're still waiting for a classification. And we believe that we have done all the remedial measures based on the observations. And we're still awaiting the classification. And that's about it. And I think, as I said in the past, and I'll just reiterate it again, we have always implemented our risk mitigation strategy on our top products. And I think, I think we are there. Yeah. Thank you. Next.
Okay.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Ashish from JM Mutual Funds. Please go ahead.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Ashish.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. 2 questions. So first on AgChem business and our long-term vision to also set up the business in the international markets. And secondly, on the M&A. So earlier we were wanting to add M&As to our portfolio with revenues of somewhere between 1,000 to 1,200 crores. So update on that. Thanks.
So I'll start with the AgChem. AgChem, I think usually December is a slower season, so I think the sales have been on the lower side. Overall, I think so far for the year, Rajesh, can you give us an update on how much you've done so far for the last 9 months?
Yeah. So just to add to that, Ashish, so year to date we have done roughly around 110 crores, right? So as Rajiv was just mentioning, The sector itself has been facing quite a bit of headwinds during this year, starting from, broadly the weather pattern and the El Nino effect has caused quite a bit of disruption in some of the key crops. Right? I mean, if you look at our key products of CTPR and related to CTPR, there's been failure in the soybean crop, cotton crop has failed, poor rain, so the South Rabi has also been impacted. And so we've seen multiple issues, and Q3 is generally expected to be on the lower, returns anyhow, seasonality-wise. I think broadly that's where we are.
And I think on the guidance, I think we thought we're in the range of 150 to 200 crores. Looks like we're going to be on the lower side, not on the higher side, because of the slightly lower offtake in the agro division this year.
Yeah.
But overall, I think we're fairly excited about how things are. And our foray into international markets, we have started registration of our key products in the major markets in US, Australia, and Middle East. So I think things are moving well, and Brazil as well. So I think the impact of that we'll probably see in a couple of years.
Correct.
And regarding the acquisitions, we're looking at a big one. That's what I think. Instead of doing a smaller one, I think we're looking for a big, large one. I think we're scouting and we're looking around. And I think, as I stated, I think we're looking in the emerging markets. So we're looking hard, and I think, I don't have an answer whether we have a deal on hand right now, but we're working hard. But the company has become stronger now. I think on December 31st, our cash position and investments are at 1,929 crores, and our borrowing is about 129 crores, including foreign bill discounting. So net cash we're at 1,800. So we've gone up a little more from last quarter, and so I think we're in good shape. That way, to execute a transaction. To answer your question, do we have a transaction we're going to close? I think we're looking hard. I think that's all I can say at this time. But we hopefully will be able to consummate something in the next 12 months. I think that's our expectation. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Next caller, please.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Anuj Momaya from Ideal Investments. Please go ahead.
Congratulations on a good set of numbers, Adi. So my first question is on the US market, ex of Revlimid. How are we doing in those products, or can you give some light?
We're doing well. Ex of Revlimid, Copaxone is one of our biggest products. So we have very good market share on it. We are the number one generic on that. And the other products, everolimus does well, lanthanum does well, lapacum does well. So, all the portfolio is doing reasonably well. I think overall we're happy with our business, and all our key products, we supply from both the sides, both from our Vizag and our Hyderabad side. So it's fairly stable, and things are well. In terms of US business, going forward as well, I think our strategy continues to be to get, those key critical complex products. We have delivered good complex filings. You're familiar with our semaglutide filing, and some of them we have sole FTF on some strengths and some of the product. And the idea is that we'll deliver, and delivered olaparib. We've spoken about that. These are some of the big filings we have in the near future. And going forward, we have a stated goal. I think this next 12 months will deliver at least 2 or 3 products which are as interesting as the ones I just mentioned. So I think we're working on them. Hopefully in the next 12 months we're able to announce something positive by achieving a filing. I think the strategy still, I've said this for many times, I'll reiterate again. I think the way US is going to work is you got to do the complex generics. I think that's where the real money is, or the FTFs. Otherwise, the regular products, it's harder to make money. Yeah.
Yeah. And my second question is on this domestic formulation. So we have been flattish around 100 crores of quarterly 100. So is the oncology piece of business flat or the non-oncology? Can you throw some light? How are we doing on the domestic front? Because that has been lagging for quite some time now.
Good question. Yes, we are lagging. I think there's no running away from that. I think we have a reasonable pipeline. I think we have some couple of very interesting products that we're working on. We believe that will drive the growth. But the launches are not in the near term. I think that's a challenge. Overall, the business has been stable. I think oncology volume-wise is growing. I think we're doing all right. Again, as I said, I think one big challenge we have in this business is what do we acquire to increase our portfolio? Because we're only strong in the niche segments. We're not strong in the more volume, large coverage, general GP segments. I think we looked at different acquisitions, and I think I always found them to be very expensive and not, the return on capital expectation that I have is not, honestly, it's not meeting. And whatever deals that I've seen, are slightly better than the lending rates of a bank. So that's why I'm unable to close a transaction. I'll be very honest with you. That's why we are stuck. But I think we have a reasonable pipeline. I think my expectation is that that business will grow. I think our expectations are it will grow around 8 to 10%. But the strength that we're seeing in our export business, we're not seeing it in the domestic business. I think clearly, yes.
But the growth will be coming from oncology or the non-oncology piece of business?
Oncology is driving the growth. I think most of the portfolio is still, I think 60-65% of the portfolio is still oncology. Yeah. Okay?
Well, thanks.
So thank you. Next question, please. Yeah.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Somil Shah from Paras Investments. Please go ahead.
So congratulations on a good set of numbers. So in the previous call, you mentioned that most of our Revlimid quota was done for this year, and next quarter there won't be much quantity left. But still, the performance for this quarter in terms of sales was very good. So does that mean that our other products did really well in this quarter?
I think the other products did better. I think we got some tail on the lenalidomide, but actually significant part of the profit came from non-lenalidomide for this quarter. I think that's a position. That's good.
Okay. As mentioned earlier, the emerging markets have done fairly well.
And also we had some big few hits in a one-time tender and all. They're all non-US relevant driven business.
Okay. And that performance can continue further for the next quarters, non-Revlimid?
These are one time, no? So I think they're done. So I think again next year is a new year again. You bid for new business and you see how things go. But overall, the emerging market piece and the other products have done fairly stable. And we obviously have, lenalidomide will come, I think, starting from March. We'll get a new allocation. So I think we're expecting that things will be better starting from March.
Okay. And so if my understanding is correct, that from March 24 to Feb 25, that would be a third year for Revlimid, correct? And the contribution to overall sales from this product will increase compared to the previous year. So can you please guide on the EBITDA margin? Will it be similar to the previous year, or if the sales increases, will the margin will also increase?
Good question. I don't have an answer. So we'll just see how the market forms. I think we'll have more color, I think, once some quantity goes into the market. We're optimistic that we'll do well. Again, the extent of the erosion and all is very hard to judge. And I think we have to speak to our partner Teva and get more clarity. But I think once we get more clarity, hopefully in May, when we have our March quarter numbers and the annual for the financial year March 24, I might be better placed to answer that question. At this time, it's too premature.
Okay. And so any guidance for the next financial year for revenue or profit?
Not today. I'll guide for March 24. 25, I think maybe in the next call I'll have more clarity. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Nitin Agarwal from DAM Capital.
Hi, thanks. Rajiv, on the US market, are there any over 25, 26, do you see any of those P4 launches coming through for you?
I can't speak about dates, Nitin, because they're all bound by confidentiality. I think I'll give you a general picture of what P4s you can expect in the next few years. Bosantan 32, Carfil 10 milligram, we have sole FTFs. So those are probably coming in the next few years. And then we have olaparib, and then we have semaglutide. So I think those are the big P4s. And then we have trabectedin as well. and pomalidomide. So these are all there in our investor presentation. But these are the ones that will play out in the next few years.
Okay. And in terms of the new filing that you talked about, potentially that can come through over the next 12 months, I mean, these would be what? A potential impact from a monetization perspective, these would be post FY30 events?
Depends on the patent litigation and all, so it's very hard to judge. No, definitely. It's be tough. I think what we are trying to tell our investors and a lot of our interactions is that, we continue to pursue the complex pipeline. And our idea is that, you need to focus on these complex products. And you got to do, peptide products, oligopeptides, difficult delivery systems, harder to do generics. And that's where the real value is. I think we have a stated goal, I think, internally in the R&D that we have to deliver. We're targeting, let's say, about 3 or 4, and if we succeed even at 1 or 2, then it adds, a really disruptive launch in the next few years. So I think the idea is that, we have, let's say, 3 or 4 good complex generics coming up in the next 5, 6 years, and then maybe make it like 6 or 7. Then there'll be more consistency in our, delivery, rather than the lumpiness that you're seeing in our earnings. So I think we should able to generate. I mean, we don't need many of these very good products. I mean, if you deliver 6, I think you're set for the whole decade, So I think that's the idea. I think we're trying to bring more pipeline with the R&D spend that we have so that we can bring more consistency in our complex pipeline.
And secondly, on the ROW subsidiaries which are there, what kind of outlook do you have on this sort of piece over the next couple of years?
I think Brazil and Canada are our best subs in the ROW. I think both are doing extremely well. And so we're very happy how things are progressing. And each of these subs are filing 7 to 8 products. I think that's a stated goal that we have. So they continue to be strong. And we are looking at more markets. We're starting a subsidiary in Colombia and Indonesia. And also we're looking for a good acquisition in the ROW business. And so I think our sense is that, we have to grow this business, and whatever pipeline that we're building for, let's say Canada and Brazil, extend it to as many countries as possible. And I think that's where the value of the business is. And I think that's how it's going to be. I think you got to have a reasonable pipeline. The only way you're going to make money in this business, 1, you have complex generics, difficult to do products. 2, you have global reach, and you have a steady branded generic business. I think these are the 3 ways you can make money. And I think out of these 3, you need to get at least 2 things right. And I think that's what will get you home. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Nitin, thanks. Next call, please.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Viraj from MoneyGrow India. Please go ahead.
Hi, Rajiv, Rajesh. Thank you. Seems like you've had a great quarter and the worst is behind for Natco. Been tracking this business for a long time. Just a question on Imbruvica and Pomalyst. Can you speak a little bit about those 2, please? Because I think those are some of the bigger market opportunities out there for you.
Certainly. I mean, Pomalyst, we have launched in a couple of markets. I think we launched it so far obviously we have a reasonably nice generic in India. I think we're the number 1 generic of pomalidomide in India. We've launched it in Canada and Australia so far. So those are 2 markets that have opened up. So that is doing well. Now, US, we already have a launch date. So, but it's a shared FTF. So I don't know how big this product is going to be in the US for pomalidomide.
When you say shared, is it with 1 power player or multiple players?
I think there are multiple players. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's a shared FTF. It feels like 4 or 5, but I don't want to say something I'm not. But just get the feeling it's many, but how many I don't recollect exactly. And what was the other question you said, other than Imbruvica? I mean, we have lost the appeal, so we're just looking at what we can do. So we're making our evaluations on how we can deal with the legal situation. So at this time, I can't comment, but we'll come back with what we probably need to do. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. All the best.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Bharat from Equirus. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity. So, sir, are we quantifying the one-time tender opportunity which we have got for this quarter?
No, I generally don't do a split for competitive reasons, but we just generally give a general view. But I don't discuss the quantification of speak EBITDA by split. I don't do it.
Sure. And sir, any outlook on the US market, how it is happening? Because from the previous commentary, we are understanding that there has been some volume growth, pricing has started getting better. So how are you looking at this market at this moment?
I mean, business has been stable. I'll be honest with you. I think business has been fairly stable. I think all the products that we have had, we had stable revenue and stable pricing. There's no doubt in that. But having said that, again, I'll reiterate what I said a few minutes ago, is that the real money in the US is not coming from, selling large volume or mass volume. I think you get real value when you do complex generics. And that's where the real money in the business is. And I think that's my sense. Yeah.
Sure, sir. I will get back in the queue. Thank you.
Okay, then. Next call, please.
Thank you. And the next question is from the line of Rohit from iThought PMS. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, congrats on good numbers. My question was on the NC that we had NRC 2694. If you could just talk a bit about that. I think we were under phase 2 trials. So if you can share anything, and also overall the overall strategy around NC for us as a company, if you can share over the next 4 or 5 years, if there is anything that can happen there.
I think NRC 2694, I think we got permission to do phase 2 in the US. So we have a couple of sites in the US, and then we're doing some work in India also. We got DCGI clearance to do phase 2. And it is for a niche indication. I think it's premature at this time. I think I think it's premature to talk about it. But I think once you make good progress, then we can speak about it. But at this time, I would like to say that it's at an early stage. So, but we're doing phase 2. And in addition to this, I think we have another 2 products that we are looking to do IND. But at this time, it's premature. I think maybe in the next quarter, I'll give you more updates.
The line for the current participant has been disconnected. The next question is from Hussain from Ambit Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for taking my question. So I had 2 questions. The first one was with regards to our $2 million investment in Cellogen around CAR-T therapy program. And if I recall, in the last Concall also, you alluded to some investments in this area, which would make sense for Natco. So would it be fair to say that, these types of investments would be the way ahead for us in Indian market compared to, say, typical outright brand purchase? And could you talk more about this?
Sure. Okay, fine. Outright brand purchase, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I know I'm contrary to everyone what the street believes and all you guys love, but I think the return on capital is very low, and I think the growth of these brands are not so large that justify the valuations. But having said that, what we're doing with Cellogen is essentially they have a very promising molecule in CAR-T therapy. And you probably know, I mean, this is the new technology that has come in treatment of cancer. And this is very exciting technology. And I think we realized that we don't have the know-how in our system to do these projects. And but I also believe that this is going to revolutionize cancer therapy. So I think so we felt that it's good to be at least part of a startup which is working on this. And we have started with a 2 million commitment, but I know if things go well, I think we can always bump up our investment in these sort of assets. But certainly I think this is going to be gene therapy and CAR-T are going to be big things in pharma, and I think a lot of the innovation is happening in this space, and I think you need to be in this space clearly. And if you don't have the know-how internally, then you probably need to capture it through an investment, and then maybe you get a feel of how things are going, and then maybe, if you're comfortable how things are, then maybe you can do a larger investment and take it forward. Yeah. Okay.
Understood. And sir, my last question is with regards to semaglutide, and pardon my lack of understanding here, but just wanted to get a sense of like what